Well, the state of the world today is actually pretty okay ever since Trump finished office for his first 100 days. He hasn't done a terrible job, he hasn't done a good job, but he's doing a heck of a lot better than everybody thought he did, but thought he would do. Which I give him kudos for that. He surprised a lot of people during the campaign, especially not during the campaign. He surprised a lot of people with the nomination Neil Gorsuch, which is by far, out of his first 100 days, the best thing he's ever done. He did try to push through an Obamacare repeal, which failed and was partially his fault, but it didn't really rebound on him negatively, unless you were looking at his campaign promises, then of course he did. And then, of course, trying to get funding for the border wall, he said that's definitely going to happen. And this new tax plan actually looks like it's going to be pretty good. But the left, also in that 100 days time, has lost its ever-loving mind tenfold. Now I'll explain why. From leftist propagandizing at college campuses like Berkeley, silencing conservative speakers on campuses, and the media left just not even doing their jobs anymore than they were already doing their jobs, are not doing their job at an even more rate. Even people I would have considered kind of honest journalists like Jake Tapper at CNN, even though he's still doing partially okay, he has taken on this persona of, I'm just going to say screw Trump, even though he doesn't actually say it, but whatever. And then also, the YouTube community has suffered in part because of this, indirectly, because of something PewDiePie said in a video that people are so confused about. I don't think he did anything wrong with that, but YouTube has been cracking down on conservative speakers for a while with the demonetization and restricted mode. Especially conservatives. They targeted a lot of people, but the conservatives are the one that are been majorly singled out. And also, like I said, the thought propaganda on college campuses is worse than it has ever been, ever. Berkeley's become basically a war zone, which sucks balls. Even people like Andrew Klavan are getting yelled at campuses just for trying to speak there when they were invited by their own college Republicans. And then they even go as far as to criticize and try to ban people like Hunter Avallone just for recording shit. But overall, for the first 100 days, it's good. Mostly because Trump had a couple of major accomplishments, but it wasn't very big. And two, it wasn't 100 days of Hillary Clinton. It wasn't 100 days of a rape denier, of a rape defender, a murderer, and pathological liar who would have probably dragged our country into war by now. And with this whole White House correspondent bullshit, with that stupid, what claims to be Muslim comedian, even though no one's ever heard of him except that he's with The Daily Show, with Trevor Noah, and then Samantha Bee with their not White House Correspondents' Dinner, which was a complete and utter failure. And overall, just everyone on the left losing their collective literal minds. And it has been entertaining to watch, but also very scary. Because in 2 years, in less than 2 years, if Democrats, even with their wildly autistic screeching, and also with their hypocrisies confirmed, maybe if the Democrats do win back the House, the Constitution's basically screwed, and conservatives might lose might lose the foothold that they have right now in Congress. Trump won't get anything else done, and Republicans may even end up losing the presidential election of 2020. This is bad. But hopefully, and this is just a big hope, I'm hoping that in the next 4 years, Republicans, Libertarians, Conservatives, anyone of the conservative ideology or anti-SJWism can help us, can just unite to take on the radical left that has become the mainstream left, and to keep their retarded dogma, retarded communist, socialist, dictatorship dogma out of the United States government, and make it basically a time that we haven't seen since Reagan. And this is what I hope, but this is going to be wildly unpopular with some conservatives. I don't think that by the time 2020 comes, the conservatives will be in a better place than they were before Trump. So welcome back to FML, and that one is something that I am fearing, that conservatives will come. Conservatives are under attack more than ever. This is one of the things that's really keeping me from really going to college right now. I know I'm a senior, I have less than a month left to figure out what the hell I'm going to do. But one of the reasons why I don't want to go to college right now is because of the backlash that conservatives have been getting since the election, especially in college campuses like UC Berkeley, where it's just turned into full-on riots and gang conflicts, and it's really saddening to see, especially from someone who advocates against what the leftists are pushing. It's disconcerting. Like I said in my literal FML video, what the hell am I gonna do with my life after I'm through with high school? I have no fucking idea what I'm gonna do. But college is becoming a decreasing priority for me. Not only just getting into college, but also just the widespread unpopularity that people that I agree with and people that share my beliefs are being criticized and screwed with for no reason other than they have a differing opinion is really fucked up. And even if there was an actual Nazi on campus, you do not have the right to punch them. You don't have the right to just commit acts of violence unless they were actually trying to threaten you. But like I said, I do not want to get into a confrontation on college campus like that. It would only end bad, and if I ever do try to get big on YouTube again, if I ever do get big on YouTube, I don't want that on my record and for it to just drive people away. And it's going to be hard for me, and I know it's hard for a lot of people on college campuses. And anyway, that's my whole deal on it. Now, as far as Trump's 100 days, like I just said, it was good. Well, not good, it was okay. Not the worst thing that could have happened. But, I mean, at least it wasn't 100 days of Hillary Clinton. I've always stressed this. Hillary Clinton's presidency would have been the worst thing to happen to America. And this is what drove me into kind of supporting Trump when he won the presidential primaries, but he said a bunch of stupid shit that drove me away, and in the end, during the school election, I ended up actually voting for him, even though I put him in the ticket with Harambe, because, I mean, the meme still goes strong. But, oh, fuck. But yeah, oh, fuck. I mean, Trump, I hope he doesn't go on a Bill Clinton route. I mean, he kind of is going on a George W. Bush route, but I mean, George W. Bush wasn't too terrible. I mean, if Trump's going to be a combination of any presidents, I'd rather it be Ronald Reagan and George W. Bush than anybody else right now. And that's what I feel he's turning into. But I am hoping to God that doesn't do any type of monumental fuck up that ends in conservatives losing both houses of Congress and then a Democrat becoming president. And like I just said, conservatives today, they should be stronger than ever. I honestly think conservatives should be stronger than ever. I mean, we do have the entire Congress and we have the presidency. So we have two branches of government. But, I mean, if anything's going to kill us, it's not because of the leftists. Because the leftists seems to be self-destructing in their own way. But we're self-destructing on a higher level. From the alt-right kind of fucking things up sometimes to the people in Congress right now who promised all these things ever since Obama swept through with the Affordable Care Act, and when Trump wants to get a healthcare plan through, they're like, oh yeah, they're like, oh, we'll change our perspective just because of Trump. And Ben Shapiro stated this best. This proves to you that a bunch of Republicans in Congress were liars. And I mean, honestly, if we just had Ron Paul as president in 2012, we wouldn't be in this situation. No, if we had Ron Paul as president in 2008, if he was our president in 2008, we wouldn't be having these talks. We wouldn't be in this bullshit thing right now where, oh, socialism has become super popular, big government has become like the norm now. We wouldn't have any of this under a Ron Paul presidency. Just something I wanted as a kid. I mean, when McCain won, I kind of was like, ah, fuck. Well, that's just perfect. But even in 2008, Ron Paul, super popular, but the Republican establishment fucked him up because, you know, the establishment's not good. No establishment is good, in my opinion. And they fucked Ron Paul over. So, I'm telling you, Ron Paul would have beaten Obama super easily. And not only because Ron Paul's been in the public, not in the public eye, he was in Congress for years. He was super popular among conservatives. And they also had libertarians. And he also had the support of the Libertarian Party, who I believe he was, but he was a Republican libertarian who worked pretty hard to reform the Republican Party. And then the Democrats also did their own thing against Bernie Sanders, even though Bernie Sanders was super popular like Ron Paul, but Bernie Sanders was horribly misguided. I think he was just I think Bernie Sanders was a misguided person, and I used to think that, oh, he was a pretty nice guy, though. I mean, I thought everybody in the election cycle except for Hillary Clinton was pretty nice. And I wasn't ever going to vote for, even though I wasn't going to vote for Hillary Clinton, I thought it did suck that Bernie just got fucked over in the ass like that because of the establishment leftist, and then, you know, all the hypocrisy that came out in the recent election from the leftist that I think contributed to the Republicans getting both houses of Congress and the executive branch. But still, with Hillary Clinton, nothing would have changed. We would have more of the same under Obama. Well, more of the same that we had under Obama. At least with Trump, Obama's legacy is going down the toilet, which is beautiful to me. I mean, look at my face right now. This is... I'm happy that Obama's legacy is just getting flushed down the toilet right now. Other than Obamacare, I think everything he's doing is just blowing up in his face. And not only that, he also got a $400,000 speaking fee in Chicago for his first public appearance since the inauguration of Donald Trump, and he didn't give it away. He kept it all, just like most leftists do with their money that they get from speaking fees, because they love their speaking fees. And then Hillary Clinton, oh my God, Hillary Clinton, the stupidest bullshit that she has ever uttered ever since coming out of the woods coming out of the woods last month. Oh my God. She said that she said that we made a lot of mistakes during the she made a lot of mistakes during the campaign, but it wasn't actually her who made the mistakes. She basically blamed it all on Comey and Russia. Per usual. I mean, does this not spell out sore loser? I mean, Jesus Christ. I mean, I want to find the clip. Hold on. Anyway, I found the clip on CNN, and CNN's, oh my God. They have 1 million subscribers, but their like to dislike ratio on this movie, this video, 215 to 950. Dude, that is terrible. But anyway, here's going to be Clinton bitching about this whole process.
A perfect campaign.
No, you didn't. You murdered people. Literally before the DNC met to put her in as the Democratic leader, a guy who served with you at the UN died. And he was in direct correlation with you, and he was set to testify against you, and he was found dead. There's more than a dozen people were murdered because of her, just in the election cycle. Think about what happened during the 40 years she's been in the public eye.
There's no such thing. But I was on the way to winning until the combination of Jim Comey's letter on October 28th.
Oh my God,
Russian WikiLeaks.
Yeah, Russian WikiLeaks. It's in Russian WikiLeaks emails. Okay. Russia is not WikiLeaks, number one. Russia has no direct correlation with WikiLeaks whatsoever, so you have no leg to stand on here, Mrs. Radham. 2. Comey held off in July, partially in his own words, because he thought the Justice Department became a stupid liberal think tank, which is plausible, but it still doesn't excuse the fact that he made the wrong moves during that portion. So he kind of did it to redeem himself, but then he pulled the same thing and basically said, oh, there's nothing on Anthony Weiner's emails about Hillary Clinton, even though Hillary Clinton been doing some dumb shit. And he even said it. Hillary Clinton was doing some dumb shit. But he wouldn't indict her. Well, I think they indicted her. They wouldn't do shit about it though, because A, I think he wanted to save his job, and then B, he's a pussy. he's a prick, not a prick. He's just scared of losing his job, which is understandable, but still, you got to do your job.
Raised doubts in the minds of people who were inclined to vote for me, but got scared off.
No, you were the most widely you and Donald Trump are the widely most unpopular presidential candidates we have had in history. In the history of the U.S., you were the widely most unpopular candidate ever. And there's a lot of reasons people thought that and still think that now. You're a pathological liar. You don't know what the fuck you're talking about half the time. Your health, not only that, in all the years you've been in the public eye, you defended a rapist in your husband. And your first attempt in the public eye as the first lady to push through a universal health care plan failed so miserably. You have no leg to stand on, Mrs. Clinton.
For that intervening event is, I think, compelling, persuasive, and so we overcame a lot in the campaign. We overcame an enormous...
You cheated against Bernie Sanders, a 74-year-old fucking socialist douchebag. You couldn't beat him, so the establishment rigged it for you, and he was telling us all the way to the DNC that you rigged it. Even when he was right, he wouldn't go back on his word and rescind support for you. This is how you know the Democratic Party is establishment fooling through. At least the Republican Party admits that there are a lot of people in the establishment there, and they're actually trying to reform it with some libertarians. At least some of them are. The Democratic Party doesn't even acknowledge that they're establishment. Except for Bernie. He's the only one who was anti-establishment. And even then, he was part of establishment.
A barrage of negativity, of false equivalency, and so much else. But as Nate Silver, who doesn't work for me, he's an independent analyst, but one considered to be very reliable, has concluded, if the election had been on October 27th, I'd be your president. And it wasn't. It was on October 28th, and there was just a lot of funny business going on around.
No, if it was on October 20th, I know what? No, go back on that. Okay, after October 28th, yes, with all that stuff going on with WikiLeaks and, the emails and stuff with the FBI. It probably did influence the election in the last few days, but Comey went back on it still. So, Comey's still dishonest as hell. And then, let me think. Donald Trump had been growing steadily in the polls anyway up until that happened, so I think that just exploded the base for him, especially with all the SJW crap that was coming out everywhere on social media, saying if you didn't support Clinton, you were a racist, you were a bigot, you're a misogynist, you're against diversity of color, even though we don't want diversity of thought, basically. And really, you lost against the easiest candidate. Trump obviously was the lesser of two evils, because this bitch is evil. She's a robot. She didn't know what the fuck she was doing the first moment she stepped in office, and she still doesn't know what the fuck she was doing when she lost.
Yeah. And ask yourself this. Within an hour or two of the Hollywood Access tape being made public, the Russian theft of John Podesta's emails hit WikiLeaks. What a coincidence.
What a coincidence. That was hilarious. He gave the Russians his password. He fucked himself up. And that was one of the things that led to you losing. But like I said, Trump had been rising in the polls before all this shit happened. So it's entirely possible, even if that information didn't drop, he would have won. Still, maybe with a slimmer result than what he got, but he still won. But this just shows you that the left is, even 5 months into, not 5 months, January, February, March, April, even 4.25 months into Donald Trump's presidency, leftists will still, to this day, not accept the victory. They will keep blaming Russia. They're going to keep blaming Comey. They're going to keep blaming WikiLeaks until they got nothing left, and then they're solely erased from the public eye. It's just sad. Just sad. Okay, now that I'm done with that, I'm going to end this video with something extremely funny that I saw on the Andrew Klavan show. And he's taking on Riley Dennis. And I picked on Riley Dennis on my last FML video with gaming, but I thought, my God, and he was on Instagram kind of active about this. And he was posted a thing where he quoted, "Aren't lesbians with penises just men?" So, and he says this in this little clip. Let me find it on the Daily Wire's site so I don't have to watch the actual podcast so I waste my data. But, God, Andrew Klavan has some of the best pre-show talks ever. Now, this video is called Klavan Talks. Should you be dating girls who are guys? So let's listen to it.
Hoop-de-doodle-doo. It's time to get our knickers in a twist with a monthly visit to our favorite website, Everyday Feminism. Everyday Feminism is the site where you don't have to fall out of a second-story window and land on your head to know how it feels for your brains to turn to mush. You just have to read the posts and you'll get the idea. This month on Everyday Feminism, we find a video post that has been shared by over 21,000 people.
Oh God, so many autistic people.
I swear this is real. Can having genital preferences for dating mean you're anti-trans?
My God. The autism is real.
The post is authored by Riley J. Dennis, who describes
Riley.
himself as a queer, trans, non-binary lesbian, which I think means a guy with long hair who put out for anybody. The post begins with this urgent question, and again, this is a real quote. Is it cis-sexist or anti-trans to say that you wouldn't date a woman who has a penis? The answer is more complicated than you might think, unquote. Well, since my answer is a wordless scream, it's possible Riley J. Dennis's answer is, in fact, more complicated. Let's find out. Riley J. Dennis begins by describing an issue that I know has been troubling many of you.
So what's been happening is that some people are making the argument that it's not cis-sexist at all to only be attracted to people with one kind of genitals. For example, these people might argue that being attracted to only women with vaginas in no way negatively affects trans people.
Now, I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, how am I ever going to unsee that guy? But wait, there's more.
I'm not telling lesbians that they can't be lesbians. If you're a woman who only likes women, go ahead, identify as a lesbian. Look, some women have penises.
Well, I'm glad Riley J. Dennis is not telling lesbians they can't be lesbians, because I know lesbians were worried Riley J. Dennis might pass that law and make life harder for them. In Riley J. Dennis's imagination, which is the one place where Riley J. Dennis's opinion matters. Anyway, where were we? Oh yeah, lesbians with penises. Wait, aren't lesbians with penises basically just men? Never mind. Let's look a little deeper into this issue.
So if we look a little deeper into this issue, there's the possibility of your genital preferences being at least somewhat partially informed by growing up in a cis-sexist society. There's also the fact that a preference is different than saying you would never do something. Like, having a preference for tall girls is fine, but refusing to date anyone under 5'7" is ridiculous.
So, Riley J. Dennis thinks we should all date short girls with penises. And what Riley J. Dennis thinks about who we should date is very important to Riley J. Dennis. As for the rest of us, I think we should all visit Everyday Feminism from time to time to remind ourselves how lucky we are not to be the people at Everyday Feminism. I think I need a drink. Trigger warning, I'm Andrew Klavan, and this is The Andrew Klavan Show.
Oh my God. Oh, that is one of the best videos I've ever seen. I think I need a drink. You're gonna need like 10 of them because Riley J. Dennis just says so much retarded crap. I'm sorry, Riley. I don't want to pick on you. I mean, honestly, there's a lot of other people I could go after. I could go after Hillary Clinton some more, but this video made my day today. Before it kind of got ruined by some friends having some troubles today with their family. I think this was probably the second highlight of my day. By the time you see this, it'll probably either be Monday or maybe Sunday, maybe Saturday, if I ever find a place to get Wi-Fi to post this. But this video is just perfect. Now I'll leave the link down in the description for you, so you guys can check it out. It's at the, and if you don't want to check the link, that's fine. Just go to the Daily Wire. Should you be dating girls who are guys? Clavin Talks. So anyway, thank you all for watching. I hope you enjoyed the 100-day Donald Trump presidency special with the Andrew Clavin schooling, Riley J. Dennis. Aren't guys with penises basically just men? So anyway, hope you all have a good night. See you soon. Don't die.